Tonight, the collective is learning that the world has never stopped speaking. We just stopped listening. Barbatos opens the eighth key through lost harmony, silenced instinct, ignored signals, and the quiet intelligence of life that has been trying to guide us long before confusion took over. This scroll reveals a hard truth. Many are not lost because there is no guidance. They are lost because they keep talking over it. Before harmony is restored, the noise must fall away. Before guidance can be received, the spirit must become still enough to hear it. Before the field corrects you forcefully, it will try to whisper. This is the wisdom of Barbatos. The collective is learning tonight that not every message comes in words. Some come through the body, some through the land, some through animals, patterns, tension, silence, and subtle shifts that most people overlook. But what is ignored does not disappear. It waits. It builds. It repeats until it is finally loud enough to disrupt everything. So let the collective open this scroll with humility. Stop speaking over your own guidance. Stop dismissing what feels off just because it is inconvenient. Stop chasing answers while ignoring the ones already present. The eighth key is this. When you truly listen, life begins to guide you. But when you ignore it, life will correct you.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan, see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
All right, keep up. The eighth key doesn't wait for people to catch their breath. The 72 keys of Earth. Scroll of Barbatos. The distortion of lost harmony and the return of right listening. In the Ars Godia, Barbatos is the eighth spirit, a great duke and earl who appears when the sun is in Sagittarius, often as a hunter with horns, sometimes accompanied by 4 noble kings and great troops. His offices are to understand the voices of animals, to tell of things past and to come, to reveal hidden treasures, and to reconcile friends and rulers. He governs 30 legions. That is not random mythology. That is a full ecosystem of meaning. Barbatos stands where communication across realms is possible. Not just human to earth, human to animal, human to instinct, human to what has been ignored so long it stopped trying to speak politely. So in the Earth Key reading, Barbatos becomes the distortion of lost harmony and deafness to what is alive. The moment when people stop listening to the field. And when that happens, everything starts breaking. Animals react first. Land reacts second. People react last, and usually with confusion, because they stopped listening long before anything spoke loudly enough to force their attention. Humans, with their impressive ability to ignore everything until it becomes a problem, often lose the language of listening. They talk over signals, override instinct, silence intuition, and dismiss the natural world as background decoration instead of active intelligence. So the distortion here is simple and dangerous. Hearing without listening. Knowing without understanding, speaking without sensing, moving without attunement. Barbatos governs the space where that breakdown begins to reverse. The old text says he understands the voices of animals. That is deeper than it sounds. It is not about having conversations with birds for entertainment. It is about recognizing that life is constantly communicating, whether humans respect it or not. Animals read energy cleanly. They do not negotiate with falsehood. They do not pretend confusion is wisdom. They respond to alignment or misalignment instantly. That is why they are part of this key. Barbatos teaches that when a human loses connection to instinct, they lose one of their oldest forms of intelligence. And then they start making decisions based only on noise. That is how imbalance spreads. The same key reveals hidden treasures. But again, not just gold buried in the ground like a fairy tale. The treasure is often what was overlooked because it did not shout for attention. Wisdom hidden in quiet places. Truth hidden in simple patterns. Answers hidden in what the body already knows. Guidance hidden in what the land has been signaling for a long time. But you cannot receive any of that if you are not listening. That is the catch. Then there is reconciliation. Barbatos, like Amon before him, holds the power to restore relationships. But his method is different. Amon deals with truth and conflict. Barbatos deals with attunement. Because many conflicts are not only about betrayal, they are about misalignment that was never corrected. People stop listening. They stop sensing. They stop adjusting. Then distance grows. then misunderstanding hardens, then the bond breaks. Barbatos repairs what can still be repaired by restoring the ability to hear what is actually being said beneath the noise. So the eighth key asks the collective, where have you stopped listening? Where has your instinct been speaking and you ignored it? Where has the land, the body, or the spirit been signaling imbalance? Where have you been talking more than you have been receiving? Where have you mistaken noise for guidance? Because a protector of Earth must be able to listen before reacting, to sense before speaking, to read the field before trying to control it. Otherwise, they become part of the imbalance they claim to fix. The deeper medicine of Barbatos is this: right listening restores right order. Not overthinking, not overspeaking, not forcing outcomes, listening. The kind of listening that hears tone, pattern, energy, silence, and truth all at once. That is rare, which is why so many people miss what is right in front of them. What you refuse to listen to will eventually speak louder. Hear the eighth law. Not every answer is meant to be chased. Some are meant to be heard. Not every truth needs to shout. Some only arrive when the noise leaves. So quiet yourself. Listen deeper. Pay attention to what is not trying to impress you. Because life is always speaking. And the wisdom many will carry is this: what you truly listen to can guide you. What you ignore will eventually correct you. Here are the receipts for Barbatos, clean and grounded so nobody accuses you of just vibing your way through ancient texts. Receipts for Scroll of Barbatos. In the Ars Goetia, Barbatos is the eighth spirit, ranked as a great duke and earl. He appears when the sun is in Sagittarius, often as a hunter with horns, sometimes accompanied by 4 kings and great companies. His offices include the ability to understand the voices of animals, to declare things past and to come, to reveal hidden treasures, and to reconcile friends and rulers. He is said to govern 30 legions of spirits. Source: Lesser Key of Solomon, Ars Goetia, traditional listings preserved in sacred texts archives and esoteric compilations. That is the factual spine. Everything else in the scroll is the deeper reading of those functions applied to human and earth patterns. Cosmic wisdom. If you cannot hear truth when it whispers, you will meet it again when it roars. The field speaks in layers, first through instinct, then through pattern, then through disruption. Dad joke, because even ancient forces apparently enjoy humbling people. Why did the spiritual seeker fail the listening test? Because they kept answering questions nobody asked. Wisdom for the collective. Slow down enough to hear what life has been trying to tell you without force. Not every warning comes with noise. Not every truth demands attention. But everything aligned with life is always speaking. In body, in pattern, in timing, in feeling, in the quiet spaces most people rush past. The world is not lacking guidance. It is lacking listeners. So sharpen your awareness. Trust what feels off before it becomes obvious. Honor what feels right before it disappears. Pay attention to repetition, because life does not repeat itself for entertainment. It repeats to be understood. You do not need more answers. You need cleaner listening, because the one who can truly listen does not walk blindly, does not move recklessly, and does not need chaos to learn what could have been heard in stillness. What you learn to listen to will guide you. What you refuse to hear will eventually teach you the hard way. The collective faced an uncomfortable truth. The guidance never stopped. We just kept talking over it. Barbatos revealed how lost harmony begins, not from lack of answers, but from ignored signals, silenced instinct, and the quiet intelligence of life being dismissed until it becomes disruption. This scroll showed that confusion is often not the absence of direction, but the result of refusing to listen when direction was gentle. So let this settle into the field. Not every answer needs to be chased. Some are already standing in front of you, waiting for you to become still enough to notice. The body speaks, the land speaks, the spirit speaks, the pattern speaks. But truth does not compete with noise. So quiet what distracts you. Listen where it feels subtle. Trust what repeats without forcing itself. Because the deeper law is this: guidance is always present. Clarity comes to the one who learns to hear it. Closing Scroll of Wisdom Collective, carry this with you. Life whispers before it warns. It warns before it disrupts. It disrupts when you refuse to listen. So listen early, listen clean, listen without arguing with what you already feel is true. Because the wisdom many will repeat is this: what you hear in stillness can guide you. What you ignore will teach you in chaos.
Until next time, your Sea Star Curacy, channeled by 3611027, the Beautiful Whisperer. Our Sea Star Devalan All. Apply the news you can use.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, all new and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman All.
Barbatos is the scroll of right listening, lost harmony, and the quiet guidance most people miss until life gets loud. Tonight, the collective learns that the world has been speaking all along through pattern, instinct, silence, and signs, and what we ignore gently will eventually return forcefully. Collective, slow down enough to hear what truth has been trying to say before disruption becomes the messenger. Guidance is not absent. It is often just quieter than chaos. The more you honor what your spirit, body, and field are already showing you, the less life has to correct you the hard way. What you hear in stillness can guide you. What you ignore will teach you in chaos.